Hi, welcome to Solving Primary Math Problems with Shaoyang Brendan. Today's word problem, chicken pies and tuna pies. Now, before I go on to the presentation of solving this word problem, you might have noticed that in the previous episode, there was a serious error in the explanation of the word problems. Now, did you all manage to figure out the error? Well, if you did, you will have realized that I mistook, or rather misread, one of the information in the questions. And that misread is actually referring to tuna pies being half of the chicken pies instead of the tuna pies being twice that of the chicken pies. So that was the error in the previous presentation. Now today we're going to have a look at the updated version and see what the solution looks like in the end. The word problem: Siti baked 3 times as many chicken pies as tuna pies. After she sold 94 chicken pies and 8 tuna pies, she had twice as many tuna pies as chicken pies left. How many pies in all had Siti left? How many chicken pies did Siti bake? So again, let us understand the problem. So we have 3 times as many chicken pies as tuna pies. So you have something of a picture of a model in your mind. Next information, she sold 94 chicken pies and 8 tuna pies. So I presume most of you will actually take 94 pies sold from the chicken and 8 sold from the tuna. Now after selling off the pies, she had twice as many tuna pies as chicken pies left. In the previous episode, I made the error of having 2 units of chicken pies instead of 2 units of tuna pies. So now we have 2 units of tuna pies and 1 unit of chicken pies. You might be wondering, how can 3 units of chicken pies become 1 unit of chicken pies? Where do I fit the 94 chicken pies and 8 tuna pies sold in the model? It seems like there are lots of information coming at different angles and giving you lots of trouble in understanding the word problem. So first of all, in order to solve a word problem, you need to calm down. Take 3 deep breaths if you need to, because if you calm down, you can start to solve the word problem in a logical and calm manner. So let's start with understanding this information: 3 times as many chicken pies as tuna pies. Ready? Let's go. Step 1. Draw a model to represent 3 times as many chicken pies as tuna pies. Now, why do I have to draw 3 units of chicken pies and 1 unit of tuna pies? Where did I get this information from? That's right, I got this information from the word problem here. Siti baked 3 times as many chicken pies as tuna pies. So for every 1 unit of tuna pie that Siti has baked, Siti will have baked 3 times as many chicken pies as tuna pies. So draw 3 units for the chicken pies and 1 unit for the tuna pies. It's quite straightforward, isn't it? Okay, let's look at the next step. Now, we show the removal of 8 tuna pies first. So the 8 that was actually removed from the tuna pies are actually highlighted in orange. So removing 8 tuna pies, not quite difficult, isn't it? So it's pretty straightforward as well. And then you do the same for the 94 chicken pies. So if you have noticed one thing, this whole part here represents the 94 chicken pies that were sold. Now, are you stuck at this stage of the problem? Well, if you are stuck, what are you stuck with? Now, if you look closely, there's one unit, one big unit, another big unit, and then another smaller unit here. Now, if you notice one thing, what I'm going to do is to ensure that there are 2 times as many tuna pies as chicken pies left. So let's look at the next step. So what I did was to break the 94 chicken pies into a representation of the tuna pies. So from the diagram over here that you see, you have 2 units of tuna pies represented in blue that are the leftovers, and they are twice that of the chicken pies that are left over. So you have 2 units of tuna pies here and 8 tuna pies that were sold. So this big unit over here is 1/3 of the number of chicken pies. Okay, Can you see this part over here? And then can you see these dotted lines over here? So these dotted lines over here cuts this blue part into 2 equal parts. So you have 2 units here of tuna and 1 unit of chicken. And then if you notice carefully, this one big unit here consists of 2 smaller units and 8. So you have 1 unit, 1 unit, 8, 1 unit, 1 unit, 8, 1 unit, 1 unit, 8. So the total number of chicken pies that were sold is equivalent to 1 unit plus 8 plus 2 units plus 8 plus 2 units plus 8. So can you see that there's a link now between the number 94 and the number of units and the groups of 8? So do you have something like an equation like this? 5 units plus 24. So do you see a link here? 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 units. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. 5 units plus 24 equals 94. 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 70. So 1 unit over here is 70 divided by 5 equals to 14. Now the question asks, how many pies in all had City left? So we're looking at the parts in blue. So 1, 2, 3 parts in total. Since the size of this part is the same as this part, this blue part here is actually 14. So if you have 3 blue parts altogether, you have 14 times 3, which is 42. So you have a total of 42 pies that were left by City. Now, how many chicken pies did City bake? Since we know the value of this pie, or rather, since we know the value of 1 unit over here, which is 14, we can simply add the 14 to 94, and we get 108. Another way to get the 108 is to simply find the number of tuna pies that were baked at first, which is 14 plus 14 plus 8, which is equals 36, and multiply them by 3 to get 108. So there are 2 ways to actually solve this problem. 1. Find the total number of tuna pies that were baked and multiply them by 3. 2. Simply add the 14 to the 94 chicken pies that were sold to get 108. You solved the problem now. So how do you actually solve the problem? One of the critical information was to break that 94 pies, that chicken pies sold, into several parts, or rather into units, so that you can see that there's an equivalence between the number of units and 94. Now if you have noticed one thing, without the model, you would not able to be or rather you would not be able to see the information more clearly. But with the model, you suddenly see that you only need to focus on the information at hand. So with the model, you will see that it is much simpler to understand what the information is. And then with a little bit of patience, you will see that the solution is actually right in the problem. If you like this presentation, please click on the like button below, or share it with your friends, or leave a comment in the comment section below if you have further thoughts about these questions. Thank you for watching this episode of Problem Solving with Shaoyang Brandon. See you in the next episode.